What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing the series that we started on the last video, which is recapping / reviewing every Miami Heat's players seasons. In today's video, we're going to be doing two other players. We did Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo on the first one. If you guys have not checked that out, please pause this video, go check that out, and then come back to this video, because those that starts off with the two stars of this team, Jimmy and Bam. I recap their seasons in that first video, and then in this video we're going to be talking about Goran Dragic and Victor Oladipo. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the upcoming videos. It's going to be a series of probably like 5 to 7 videos where we talk about and recap every Miami Heat player's season and what their future lies with the team and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe and comment down below what your thoughts are about the series in general and the video as well. I will be doing the free agency preview / predictions of who I would like for the Heat to sign, some of the targets, whole breakdown that will be coming up after this series, so stay tuned for that as well. Let's get right into it. So Goran Dragic is the player we're going to be starting off with first. Goran Dragic is someone who's been here since the post LeBron days. He's been on this team since 2014, 2015. He got traded during the middle of the season for a couple of picks, I'm pretty sure, and something else. I don't remember the full details of the trade, but I'm pretty sure it was a couple of picks. And yeah, Goran has been one of the most consistent players on this team. He has been one of the most fan-loved, humble. He's been a fan favorite. However, this season has been a little bit more difficult for Goran Dragic. Obviously, he came off the bench like he did last season. He did not start that many games. He only started 11 games for us. So off the bench, and we kind of thought that he would have the same impact that he did. He was terrific for us in the bubble last year. He was kind of like a third all-star for us in the playoffs. He was our leading scorer up till the finals. And he's kind of taken not a step back, but he's kind of I don't want to say regress, because I don't want to say he doesn't have anything left in the tank, but his injury has certainly affected him. He's averaged 13 points per game, 4 assists and 3 rebounds in his 27 minutes off the bench. That plantar fasciitis injury definitely affected him in the beginning of the season. But I think towards the end of the season, once he got a rhythm back, because he was a guy who was very in and out of the lineup, not only because of that first injury, but he missed a lot of time, on back-to-backs, resting his ankle, and he had a lot of injuries that he suffered during the season, and because of that, he wasn't really able to get his rhythm until the last part of the season in the playoffs. He did turn it up during the playoffs. He averaged 16 points per game. He upped his scoring average by 3. But one thing that I was kind of disappointed by Goran during the playoffs is that he wasn't really that playmaker that he was last year. He only averaged about 2 points, 8 assists. So yeah, man, Goran is a very interesting one, because obviously we all want to see his number retired in the rafters. We all want to see him be a Heat lifer. We want to see him retire with the Miami Heat. It was so emotional how he when he signed his deal last year he took a video of the posters being around his backyard in Slovenia, and then the billboards. It was very, very nice to see. He is on a team option for $17 million this year, or next year. So no, this year. Yeah, he is on a team option for $17 million this upcoming offseason. We'll get to what I would do with him then. But as far as the season is concerned, it's very hard to judge him, because he didn't play like the Goran we thought he would play. But we have to take into account that the amount of time he's missed, he wasn't really able to get into a rhythm. And that's the same thing I'll do with guys like Tyler or people like that who've missed a lot of time and weren't really able to get into the rhythm. He did step it up in the playoffs, though. With the scoring, it's just his playmaking. I thought it was a little bit lackluster. If I was rating Goran Dragic throughout the whole season, the first part of the regular season, it would probably be like a 5 out of 10 or something like that. But it would, to the end, I would probably give him like a 7 out of 10. I think that he played pretty well towards the end of the regular season. He really found his rhythm, and I thought that he upped his, game, his level of play in the playoffs. He got the starting nod over K Nunn in games 3 and 4. So, yeah, as far as his future is concerned, like I said, he does have a $17 million team option this year. There's no way that I would want to accept $17 million. My understanding is, unless Goran Dragic gets a bag from somewhere else, or unless he wants to go somewhere where he's going to get way more money. Since we gave him 17 for the first year, we can always restructure the deal to give him so he can take a pay cut for this year, because we do have like $28 million in cap space, and we do not really want to jeopardize that with re-signing our own players for hefty deals. We want to get some new guys out there as well, because this team, as we see, is not really successful to win a championship. So we need to freshen it up a bit. And what is scary is that apparently the Miami Heat don't really see a one player coming in and fixing everything, which is, I guess, true. But like, I don't really know how to judge that, because if Kawhi Leonard's out there and if Kawhi Leonard wants to go to the Heat in free agency, I doubt the Miami Heat would just look him away. Like, there's no way that we would pass up on that. So I don't know how true that is, but maybe they're saying like we got to sign more than one player to help fix everything. And but they said that they still believe in Jimmy and Bam to be their lead guys, which is cool, I guess. But I think you still need a third guy, a third option, or even like a second option if Bam is a third option. You need a big three. So, but coming back to Goran, I would most likely re-sign him back if he's willing to take a pay cut because he was on a very hefty deal for this year. So hopefully he takes a pay cut and we bring him back on the roster. But if not, then Goran Dragic, it's been real. You've been a very good player for the Miami Heat, very good, very consistent player over the years. Get your bag. But coming back to Victor Oladipo though, because he is the second player in this video we're going to be talking about. It's not even coming back to, we didn't even talk about him yet. But Victor Oladipo is someone that we actually acquired at the trade deadline. Traded away Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and I think we swapped 2022 first round picks if the Rockets if the Rockets are eligible to swap 2022 first round picks if they want to. So Victor Oladipo, very, very interesting. Came to the Heat, averaged 12 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. I think he goes more than stats with Vic though. I think when Vic was on the floor, I do think our defensive intensity picked up. Against the Warriors, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a couple of possessions. I know Steph had like 36 that game, but I thought we really, really locked in on the defensive end, and that was the first game that Vic played in. And then he single-handedly, almost won us that game against the Lakers. And we still won that game, but he got injured towards the end. But he was having his best game in a Heat uniform against the Lakers. Had that nasty dunk over Drummond. He was hitting his threes and everything. I think Vic is very interesting. Very, very interesting as far as what we're going to do with him during the future. But I do think that Vic is a guy that, I think that similar to Goran, since he suffered that horrible injury where he's probably going to be sidelined until November, where he's going to be coming back and doing practice, which is what Woj said, and I think his agent said, or something like that, that November is really when you're anticipating to see him back doing practice drills and all that stuff, because he had surgery on his quad. So until that happens, I don't really see how you can spend $20 million on Victor Oladipo, especially when you're trying to win a championship. I know you want him for future years. He is still only 29, which is not. He just turned 29. He's going to turn 30 in May next year. So I do think that Victor Oladipo is a guy that he can have a future with this team if this year's deal. Like, I would expect the Heat to throw him like a 1 year or a 2 year deal at Victor Oladipo, nothing too hefty, because you gotta understand this guy's injured right now. He's compromised. You don't know how well he's gonna play when he's back. And Victor Oladipo wants to be with Miami. Don't get me wrong. He wants to be with Miami, but similar to Goran, who also wants to be with Miami, if there's a team out there that's willing to throw him, 15 million for Vic, or 20 million for Vic, he might accept that offer, because he's been talking about how he loves Miami. He wants to be in Miami. You know, there's so many reports saying that Miami was Victor Oladipo's destination, his dream destination. But I don't know. Money has people thinking different ways, man. And Victor Oladipo could not be on this team if a team throws him the bag, which I don't think they will, because he's out. But you never know. Some teams are out there who are crazy enough to do that, and we might have to, you know, either up that offer, or we might just have to let him go. So Vic, I think if you're rating him on the season, I don't really think you can give him a rating. He only played 4 games, but this is more about his future with this team, because we obviously do want to save cap space, all that good stuff. But I do want to see how he comes back, you know, from his injury. You know, he comes back with full contact practice in November, and yeah, man, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Vic, because we definitely want to sign some free agents at that guard position. And, you know, once he's back, it's going to take some time for him to gel. So he's probably not going to get into any rhythm until probably like January, because that whole December month, he's probably going to be just trying to find his rhythm coming back from the injury. And then January is probably when he's going to start, you know, finding himself again. And I mean, for a team like us who's more focused on the playoffs than anything, maybe that could be a good thing. So whether his future lies with us long term or not, we'll see. I definitely don't want to throw like any hefty bags out there, though. I do want to see how he comes back from his injury. That's why I said like a 1-year deal or 2-year deal, something very short, because if it's a 1 or 2 year deal, and if he's not really playing up to par, or up to the contract we gave him, or up to the expectations we have from him, then we can just let him go after that 1 or 2 years. But if it's a 4-year deal, and if the same thing happens, then we're stuck with him for 4 years. So we have to be very smart about Vic. Obviously, he wants to be here, but, you know, like I said, if a team throws him a bag, he might change his mind. So we're going to have to be cautious. We're going to have to be very smart with Victor Oladipo. But that's probably going to be it for the video. I talked about Goran. I talked about Victor Oladipo. The next video, I think, well, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil who's going to be on the next video. So make sure y'all stay tuned for the next video. Let me know what your thoughts are about Goran Dragic and Victor Oladipo's future with this team. Like I said, with Goran, if we can restructure that team option so that he takes a pay cut, because he was on 17 mil for last year, then I would be glad to have him. With Victor Oladipo, if it's a short term, and you know, if it's a short term deal, like an experimentation period, for us to see how he is after his injury, I would be happy to have him as well. I don't want any, you know, big deals or any long-term deals or anything like that with Victor Oladipo or Goran Dragic, because one of them is currently about to turn 36, and the other one is coming off a knee injury that has kept him out for I don't even know how many months now. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about both these players. I'll see you guys later as always, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.